And I'm very glad that I got to actually join in and play that. I was really looking forward to it, and I was bummed when I started feeling sick. I was like, of all times, it would be now. Take all the pictures, all the pictures. Wait, could you hear that? No, you can't. Okay. I was taking screenshots of the dashboard for Matt so he could go see where he can revoke his founder badges, because I revoked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I revoked 7 badges out of my 10. Oh my god, Glory. You have no idea. Those stupid Frenchie's fried onions. I took one bite of that salad and I knew I was done for. I was like, all I can hope is that it wasn't enough. By the time I got home, I was doubled over in pain. They are so good, but every single time I eat them, they kill me. I can't do it. Oh. Fun fact, just make your own. Honestly, I don't know if that would make a difference, because raw onions will do it to me too, just not as bad. Which is the very weird thing. Okay, let's adjust this. Perfect. You know, you would think it were the grease, but if it were the grease, I would imagine things like pan-fried potatoes or deep fried, like anything deep fried would do it, but it doesn't. It's honestly just onions. If it's like raw onions, it does it, and if it's the Frenchie's fried onions, it does it. But if I caramelize my own onions or like bake them into a stew or something, I'm fine. Like, as long as they're cooked, apparently, I'm fine. You love the crispy fried onions you get in the bag, the big tin from the Asian market, but they give you the stomach rumblies, something fierce if you have too much. Those, exactly those. I'm pretty sure it's basically the same exact thing. It's like deep fried onion bits, crunchy onion bits, deep fried crunchy onion bits. They put it on the salad. I thought it was like the crunchy like noodle bread pieces that you can get in some Asian markets, but no, it was Frenchie's fried onions, man. Speaking of grease, you rebuilt an engine at work today, and after a shower and washing your hands countless times, they are still covered in grease. Ooh. Have you tried, like, degreaser? Dawn dish soap? Goof off? Goof off might work. My chair is falling apart. I need to order a new one. It's the same with your sister. You think it might be the acidity in the onions that might be burning on my stomach lining? Maybe. Whatever it is, it causes me to immediately have to, like, flush my stomach. Your skin is just stained. Oof. You need to cut off your skin? I think that's a bad idea. I don't think you should do that. No, sir. Oh, just the hand at the wrist. So, what I'm hearing, Test, is you might need a hand. Anyway, we're gonna play a little bit of Control for the last bit of the night. Because it's been a long day. And I'm afraid to get up from my chair, if I'm honest. If anything, I have the best transitions. The absolute best transitions. I don't remember if I went in here or not. So we're gonna take a look. Oh. I mean, could you guys imagine me on, like, I don't know, a podcast or something with, like, segues and junk? I'd be unstoppable. What is this? Acoustic research. Why don't I do that? Do what? Be on a podcast? You want me to just be on a podcast? Is that what you're saying? Correct. Okay, what podcast should I be on? Auditory Experience 84C, Poets of the Fall, My Dark Disquiet. Hold on. Wait a moment. You need more podcasts to listen to? I don't know, make your own, coward. Kind of. It was more of a visual cast. I would love to do my own D&D, or not necessarily D&D, because I personally want to move away from D&D, but I would love to do my own tabletop RPG storytelling podcast. Poets of the Fall. That's the band from... Is that not the band from... No, that's not the band. From Alan Wake. But now I gotta listen to this song. I don't know what the song is. Anyway. Was Poets of the Fall in Alan Wake? Oh, so that's them. So they do the it's like Vikings of Asgard or something, right? I thought that was them. Alan Wake soundtrack. I was actually just listening to that recently. Oh yeah, Poets of the Fall does War. Old Gods of Asgard. Old Gods of Asgard. That's what they're called. Huh. Yeah. The poet in, they did the... So they did War, and then they also are the Old Gods of Asgard? Really? Who did Poets in His Muse? Oh my god, Alan Wake was very good. There were some gameplay mechanics that really did not age well, but otherwise the game was very good. Thank you, Glory. Okay, if I played any of the Alan Wake games, they made the music for that. I thought it was just like the in-house band or something that named themselves Old Gods of Asgard. I didn't realize that it was actually Poets of the Fall. Yeah, the story was very good. The gameplay was very rough. And I'm very excited that they're doing a remaster. If you did not know that, they are remastering Alan Wake, and then they are making Alan Wake 2, I think, as well as Control 2. And Test, if you haven't figured it out already, Control takes place in the same universe. Wait, they already released the remaster? I'm sorry? Steam Store Alan Wake? I don't think they've released the remaster. Yeah, I think this is just the basic game. Unless it's not out on Steam. I'll have to look at that later. So, My Dark Disquiet. Answer questions within 2 minutes of listening. Oh, seriously? God, I hate Epic exclusives. I refuse to buy on Epic. Hey, welcome back, Nightingale. Yeah, no problems. Write your essay. I hate the Epic exclusive thing for PC. That's so dumb. It's so dumb. I would prefer no spoilers for me, but if you want to talk about it in gaming, just be sure to tag it and or like do the spoiler quotes things on it in the Discord channel, and tag it as control spoilers. That way I don't look at it. Actually, that's a fair point. Do I have control on Steam? Yeah, okay, I have it on Steam. I was about to say, I couldn't remember if I got control on Epic or on Steam. I mean, I like that they give out free games, but I hate that they take some of these big name, awesome games, and they're like, we're gonna make it an exclusive for 6 months, a year, or however long. Because their launcher is garbage. I don't care where I buy the game, it's just that their launcher is garbage, and I hate having to open it up in there. Like, same with games going through Blizzard's launcher. Blizzard's launcher is, like, the second best launcher outside of Steam. Yeah, I didn't like it with Borderlands 3 either. I'm with you. So, I feel like we have to listen to the song. I wonder if the song is in here. You have a lot of issues with the Epic Store in general, especially the garbage launcher. But darn, do you love free stuff. Yeah. Let's be honest, Epic is best launcher. Fel, don't do this to me. If you want to know what the best launcher is, Rockstar Game Launcher. Bar none. Did the song elicit any particular memories? If so, elaborate. Did you at any point feel a strong emotion? If so, what emotion? Did a clear image of a weapon appear in your mind during the song? If so, elaborate. Provide a detailed description of your current surrounding as you see them. Have you ever heard the murmur of voices when no one is present? If so, what did they say? Do you hear them now? Please choose one from each of the following pairs. 1 or 2, A or B, day or night, apple or orange, burnout or fade away. Burnout Revenge. Without a doubt. Wow, it's very quiet in there. That was actually impressive. Oh, that's what that is. Hold on. What did I just pick up? I don't know if this is gonna get me copywritten. So I'm just gonna set a marker here real quick. Sabab.
So white, so still, so bright. It's almost too painful now.
This is really good. Wow, this is a long song. All right. I dig it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about DMCA because if I catch it quick enough, I can just... Actually, I'm recording the VOD, so it really doesn't matter if I get DMCA striked on, or if the audio gets muted on Twitch. Because I can just upload the VOD straight to YouTube and I should be fine. No one will miss anything. It'll be good. Oh, is it really? Yeah, I mean, it's a solid song. I remember really liking the old Gods of Asgard, and when I played through Alan Wake on my YouTube channel, I used The Poet and His Muse as the outro song, because I figured, you know what, it's in the game, why not? Oh, come on. You're supposed to grab the ledge. There we go. But yeah, that was a solid playthrough. I really enjoyed, up to a point anyway, really enjoyed Alan Wake. The story was great. The story was absolutely incredible. 100% really enjoyed the story. And I'm hoping that the remaster, once it's out on Steam, will do better with the game controls, because that's really where I feel like it was lacking. Why is there just an elevator shaft into a bathroom? Because control? Fair enough. Have a nice day. You got me there, champ. Oh, goodies for privacy dumps. Yeah, guys, if you really need to use the bathroom, you better learn how to hold it, because there's a elevator ride to hell down here. I was about to say, where do I plug this into? So that now powers the lift, which is fantastic. Oh. Hey, fellas. Fancy seeing a bunch of you down here.
Area's under quarantine. I wouldn't go in there without talking to Underhill first. Even if you have, I still wouldn't go in.
Okay. Is Underhill, like, over here? I was about to say, there's got to be something at this desk, right? You like how this is SCP, but a fully fleshed game? Yeah, you know, honestly, SCP never really caught my attention, but I would totally get down into the universe if it were like this. This is just a lot of fun. Possessed items with weird characteristics. Interesting. Oh, okay, those things explode. You missed possessed items other than the rubber duck part? So pretty much every item that I pick up in this game is some form of possessed. Like, I got a phone that lets me talk to some weird entity called the Board. I got a floppy disk that was in Soviet Russia that had nuclear launch codes on it. I don't know what just hit me. You love the combat in this game between shooting and yeeting objects. It feels really good. It does. It really does. This game, like, sometimes the combat feels a little bit weird, but it's only because I know I'm not playing optimally, you know? It's like I'm trying to have fun with it and, like, do silly things. I'm not trying to, like, you know, take cover and all that sort of stuff. I'm trying to feel like a superhero, which you can't always do. But yeah, that does feel very good. Hey, Dice, thanks so much for the lurk. I appreciate you. It's always good to see you pop up. Oh, wait, I forgot. Well. Down we go, I guess. Okay. So they told me to talk to Underhill, but they didn't tell me where Underhill was? Did I miss something? Oh yeah, no worries, my dude. Go get some sleep. Don't let Amy yell at you. And if she does, just tell her that there's a present for her when she comes back. I think she's subbed. She also got a Badges First member.
I wouldn't go in there without talking to Underhill first. Even if you have, I still wouldn't go in.
You blame Test. I mean, that's fair. Ain't nothing wrong with blaming him. He's a good dude. He did good things. Huzzah! I appreciate Test. Test comes in here and spends more money on me than he needs to. But it is appreciated. I don't even know what hit me. They're snipers, man. Thank you, Mr. Caltot. I appreciate you, dude. You've been using the Kindle that just showed up at your door yesterday. Why did a Kindle show up at your door? So wait, we get packages stolen and our doormat stolen, and you get Kindles delivered to your door magically. Test, I want to move to Colorado. Because Lauren... What did Lauren do? Hey, Lauren. Tess says that you sent him a Kindle question mark? Are you magically delivering Kindles to people? She says she doesn't know what you're talking about. Oh, I can't believe I missed that. Ow, where did you come from? Oh, there's a thing over here that I didn't pick up? Oh, it's just a radio. Are we good? Phew. Oh, she didn't. It just happened. You stole it from your neighbor. Test? Why are you stealing stuff from your neighbor? That's not very neighborly. You did get a free sub. Hey, Brock, how are you doing, buddy? You want to send him yourself? Hello, Skirty Skirts. That's an interesting name. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the kingdom. Avian! Thank you so much for the raid. How are you doing? I'm doing well. I'm doing better than I was earlier. I'm going to call it a small case of food poisoning earlier, which was not fun, but I'm feeling much better. Feeling much better. I'm glad to hear you're doing well, Avian. Stream's been good. Got my butt kicked in Mario Kart, for what it's worth. The neighbor had 12 packages sitting outside her door. Is she not afraid that they're gonna get stolen or something? But Skirty Skirt, it's good to see you. Glad to have new faces to the stream. Hopefully life is treating you fairly well with the new year. I tied for first on the last cup, barely. I was coming in like last most of the time. Ow. Gosh darn it. Yeah, no worries, Avian. Go get yourself some food. Treat yourself. And by treat yourself, I mean take general good care of yourself. Pink flamingo? Oh my god, guys, there's a pink flamingo. Ooh, a late night egg sandwich as a snack? That does sound nice, especially after a long day of working on engines and stuff. I do not desire any food at all right now, for what it's worth. Agents noticed a transient commonly found outside the entrance of the Bureau headquarters would carry the item and loudly claim to be responsible for the lack of inclement weather. The frequency of these claims attracted the personal interest of Dr. Darling. In interviews, disguised as casual conversations, the transient reported that the item gives me clouds when it's hot and sun when it's not. An event of note occurred during a heavy downpour when the vagrant was witnessed performing a possible ritual with the item. See file PAI... I was trying to think of what PAI would be. So PAI 1372 for a detailed observation. Dr. Darling reported a wait of redacted seconds before the rain stopped. The vagrant was seized the next day. After redacted, he was found to possess no redacted and was released. The item remains in Bureau custody under suspicion of altered status, though this still has not been proven. All known variations of identification formulas have failed to elicit a response from the item. I love the fact that there is just something that they can, like, say that will cause an item to reveal itself as an altered item. Shadow, that's fair. I know a lot of people who are not big fans of eggs. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know. Eggies! I swear these guys cheat. Gosh darn it. Oh, every time I die, I lose points. I didn't notice that. Guess that's the refund. Maybe I should continue with the main storyline before I try to go down here. Boiled, scrambled, fried, poached. You'll eat an egg almost anyway. Raw? Did your paragraph not go through? No, I don't think your paragraph did go through. Did I miss it? I didn't see a wall of text. Yeah, I'm not seeing a paragraph. You like getting hard-boiled eggs and cutting them into, like, pickle slices to put bacon and egg breakfast in? Oh, that's actually really smart. Back when you were healthy and junk, you ate raw eggs? Why is that when you would eat raw eggs? That sounds miserable. Oh, I'm in parapsychology. Hey, Shadow, do you know if I will miss the old growth if I don't do it now? Like, if I go do my brother's keeper, will I miss out on the old growth? Thank you. I was exasperated by tests for raw eggs all day. What do raw eggs give you that you can't do now? Nightingale, are you able to, like, split it into 2 or 3 messages? I don't mind a wall of text. Do I have something else I can use? Seize speed? I don't really use seize. Shield energy cost reduction would be nice. I guess we'll do a launch. Oh, I have 2 launch energy cost reductions. Is that what I want to go for? I could just give myself more energy. Let's do that instead. Let's have more energy. There we go. I was like, why do I feel dumb looking at this? Because I couldn't find what I was looking for. I'm not dumb. I was just feeling it for a moment. There we go. I think that's all of them. Okay. Why would you put yourself through that torture if you're not going to the gym? I don't know. I thought maybe you liked raw eggs if they were helping you or something. So it started off with a meeting with a couple of people today. You're finally starting to work on your Eagle Scout project. Oh, that's cool. Looks like this project is going to work out well, as they were ecstatic about your proposal to them. So that got you hyped up. Then you realized you need to turn in your final proposal to the Scout Committee by next Friday, and it's a long document to write down. That's less fun. Test, how did you get kicked out of the Scouts? Raw eggs are gross? I mean, I would have said that, but I don't know. Some people eat liver and, like, tongue and stuff, which I also think is gross, and mushrooms. Oh, God. Wait, why do you need to write documents about becoming a scout when most of it's, like, physical stuff? Question mark? That seems weird. Started off... Okay, read that one. Not only that, but school is starting again next week, and finals are the week after. You decided to take your mind off that for a bit and play some Sky Factory 4. You're just now starting to the automation part of it, which makes you extremely excited but hard to do. Oh, that's neat too. I don't know if I've ever... Wait, that's Minecraft Sky Factory, right? Tongue is the best for tacos? I mean, I'm not gonna knock it really until I try it, but also... Wait, where do you... You know, like cow tongue. Apparently it's the best for tacos. Never had tongue tacos? You have to give it a try. I'm surprised you haven't had tongue tacos. Then your Uno lobby got canceled today. Oh, I'm sorry. Which made you angry because you had already started your stream. The 3 hours you had to cover felt slow. Queuing up into a few games took a while. You got so tired of it that you switched over to a different, calmer game that made you happier. Then your golf lobby was fun for the first hour. That's good. Which then turned into a horny mess that was worse than Shadow somehow. I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment to Shadow. Then you enjoyed your time at Gina's lobby, as per usual, because she's amazing. Gina is amazing. Agreed. I don't know, man. I feel weird about eating something that once could taste me. Did they say where the Panopticon was? Goes to the containment sector to find the Panopticon. Okay. Where is the containment sector? Containment. Hotline chamber, dead letters. Oh, that's probably through a an elevator, isn't it? Should probably go look at the elevator. Why were you talking about that one movie? I think it's called Teeth. You got kicked out of Scouts by decking the Scout leader's kid because he was cheating with his soapbox derby car? How was he cheating?
I wonder if others...
I mean, I 100% believe you that he was cheating, but I'm curious how he was cheating. Like, do you weigh it down? Yeah, there it is. Containment sector. I've never seen the movie. I've only heard of it. I've heard it referenced before. Genuinely, I don't have a desire to watch that.
Containment sector. Panopticon. Altered items. Maximum security prison. prison. Dangerous.
Okay. Let's watch that whole thing, shall we?
The containment sector, the Panopticon, is home to the altered items we find and contain. It is a maximum security prison. It's a vault for the most valuable treasures on Earth. It's a powder keg big enough to blow this world to dust. A temple, a place of worship filled with idols of angry gods. It's all of these, and none of them. It's something more profound, unbelievable, unknowable. Something worse. Altered items. We've found many. They appear mundane, but nothing could be further from the truth. They're all powerful, dangerous. They press heavy on our minds because that's their nature. They've been altered because we can't stop thinking about them. We put them on altars because they're used to being worshipped. This keeps them calm. We contain them, but they don't want to be controlled. We study them to discover what makes them tick. If this place were ever reached, it would be chaos of biblical proportions.
Dang. They say it's a good movie, but you think you've had enough description of it to the point where you think you're going to pass? I haven't had any description of it, and I think I'll pass. Well, maybe. I could probably be convinced. Well, for one, his dad obviously built it for him, but the dude had bearings in his wheels, and according to regulation, the only thing you can do to reduce friction is graphite dust? Graphite dust reduces friction? Also, you were mad because he beat your car. There it is. That's fair. I mean, I don't know any guy who would intentionally put his thing in a place that would chew it up, you know? Well, that was easy. I mean, I'm not kink shaming per se. I can't imagine anyone who would look at a wood chipper and go, yeah, give me some of that. But I guess there are weird people out there. I mean, I think the whole purpose is that it's like sharp teeth, like canine type teeth, like sharp and piercy, not just like normal teeth. I'm sure that's a thing. Summary or examination of paranatural topics, object of power and altered item distinctions. While altered items and objects of power may seem similar at first, it's important to note some very key distinctions. Firstly, objects of power grant para-utilitarian abilities. See the PUT-812 for an introduction to the subject. Secondly, objects of power translocate anyone who makes physical contact to the astral plane. This is widely believed to be due to the Redacted's affiliation with the object of power, or with objects of power. Not every individual is allowed in the astral plane, which indicates the redacted evaluates who can or cannot enter. Thirdly, and this is not always the case, objects of power are much more paranaturally redacted than altered items. Looking at the specific criteria that defines an object of power, it is no wonder they are notably rarer than altered items. In fact, we have redacted altered items for every object of power contained within the Bureau. So they have a lot of altered items, but not a lot of objects of power. What if it's a very cute wood chipper? Oh no, step wood chipper, I'm stuck. I don't know, Glory, it sounds like Glory might be down pretty bad for a wood chipper. No, you had it right. It's Plane, Astral Plane, Astral Plane. Ain't nothing plain about the Astral Plane, let me tell you that.
Reminder, this week, any documents that suddenly appear pink, light red, or any shade in between must be incinerated immediately. Failure to do so will result in termination and possible bodily harm. Thank you for your attention.
I don't know why no one has come up with an airline called the Astral Airlines, because then you can call them the Astral Planes. Like, when we start doing, like, standard consumer space travel, they need to call it the Astral Airlines or Astral Starlines, so that way you can call them, like, Astral Planes and whatever. Just imagine a Boeing 747 with stars. You mean American Airlines? The teeth is a defense mechanism. That makes sense. So much for Dusty Rose memos. What's that? The pink or whatever? Logistics, security, logistics. Oh, okay. It just leads to the same place. Like the Shamu plane, but better. Yeah, kind of like the Shamu plane, but better. Anyone else want a piece of this? All right. I didn't think so. Is it Shamu? I don't know. Makes American Airlines look like child's play? That's fair. Could you imagine a cosmically designed airplane? Like, how cool would that be to see that taking off and landing? Oh, it's a color that's pinkish. Gotcha. Why would they have memos like that anyway? Do I have any more abilities? No, but I have completed another one of these. Energy recovery. I think that's the one that I was missing, wasn't it? Upgrade, pierce, shatter, spin, grip, construct, charge. I am missing remote thoughts. Charge holds up to 3 explosive projectiles that can stagger enemies caught in their blast radius. Okay, that sounds kind of sick. Corrupted sample. Oh, that doesn't require any of those. Okay, so I need more remote thoughts. Oh. This is like the war room or something. This is neat. You're American, you can't spell? You spelled all of that right. You just want to saddle on the back of Shamu to ride through the ocean. That sounds pretty rad, not gonna lie. Where am I? Logistics, okay. It would be hard to see at night, which is probably why they haven't painted standard commercial airlines black like that, because they are hard to see. Bathroom! Yeah, what saddle do you want, Nightingale? Smoking Pram A113-KE. Containment cell must be properly ventilated. Inhalation of the item's smoke causes redacted. Item is a baby carriage with a black shade and steel wire wheels. Left front wheel is slightly bent, causing a distinct wobble when pushed. Item produces smoke incessantly. Smoke density varies. Smoke is generated without apparent fire or ignition source. An accident in Paris in 1979 brought the pram to the attention of the Bureau. Smoke filled an antique store where the pram was being sold, killing the shop's owner. Update. Detailed records of the event leading to the item's discovery were destroyed in an incident in the Panopticon. Interviews with living witnesses were reperformed at the order of the Archives and Records Chief. Neat. Yeah, I don't think you want that toy.
If anyone's there, I could really use a hand.
Hello? Oh.
Someone needs help over there. I'm here. What happened to you?
I got in a little scrap. Name's Horowitz.
Is he gonna be okay?
Don't look at me like that. I'm fine. But Wells is still in there. You gotta get him out.
Who's Wells?
My squad mate. We were hunting a runaway altered item.
I read that as
Followed it down
athletic
to the
Jew,
clocks.
and I was really confused.
A threshold. The Bureau sealed it up years back because of all the clocks. We followed the altered item inside, but the way it was acting, we weren't ready. Me and Wells were the only ones to make it to the motel court. He was right behind me, but he never showed up on this side.
I'll go find him. But first, you need to get to a medic.
Wells is the medic. Please, you gotta get him out of there. I'll be fine, really.
If you're dead when I get
Patch
back,
me
I'll
up
kill
later.
you.
Fine. But I'll be back for you.
I damn well hope so. Just use the motel cord there. It should get you into the clocks. Sorry, the threshold.
I have no idea why this dude has a Lewis gun, but they are all decked out with, I'd say, heavy artillery, because it sure seems like heavy artillery. All right, I'll go there after I finish reading. Like, dude legit thought, hey, wouldn't it be fun to use a World War I machine gun? I mean, you know, when you can't use a lot of modern tech for stuff, why not go old school, right? I mean, clearly it must have worked at some point. I think it takes place in, like, present-day age. Oh my god, there is so much to explore around here. So many doors and buildings. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the technology, like modern-day weapons, did not work inside the oldest house. I mean, some of the Hiss literally have, like, M1 Garands with grenades on top, like the grenade launchers. But to be fair, troops in Ukraine are legit using Maxim guns, so it's not that way. I mean, yeah, that's fair. Now, if they pulled out muskets... Don't bleed out, guy. I gotta read these memos first. Yeah, he'll be fine, I'm sure. Waist mannequin. The item was last owned by Madame Redacted, an operatic performer from Berlin. After her career ended in a public scandal, she relocated to Redacted, Maine for reasons unknown. With her came the trappings of her old life, including this item. Locals report that she rarely left her home in the short years she spent in Redacted. After her death, caused by Redacted, the state held a public auction of her belongings, seeing as she had no known relatives. Various conflicting first-hand reports exist, but testimonies provided by witnesses of the event do contain some common elements. Most every witness saw numerous mannequins break through the house's windows, tumbling outside. Some witnesses report bright lights, some report high-pitched singing. These are unverified. Numerous civilians inside the house at the time of the incident were hospitalized for various injuries. 2 were crushed to death. Agents were dispatched upon seeing an article regarding these events during the Bureau's daily scans of national periodicals. The item was quickly identified and brought to the Bureau. Yeah, no worries, Nightingale. I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out, and I'm sorry that your day was so up and down, but I'm glad that it kind of ended on a good note. And I wish you the absolute best at your tournament tomorrow. You're gonna kill it. You're gonna do great. Yeah, if it spits lead, it can cause you to dead, or kill you dead. The M1 Garand is a amazing gun to this day. Yeah, I hear it often critically acclaimed. I think it was one of the, like, most notorious guns for its performance, if I'm thinking of the right one. Or am I thinking of the M4, M14? One of those. I think the M14 is like the modern, quote-unquote, modern-day version of the M1 Garand. That's what everyone has been telling me, that it gives them massive SCP vibes, and to be honest, I've never really taken a look at SCP before, but I would be curious to now. Does anyone have any good, like, YouTubers or anything that reads them that I can watch? Everyone seems to be, like, obsessed with them, so... You have an M1 Garand in North Carolina? Stupid sniper. I thought he was gonna get the jump on me. Ooh, Pierce boost mod. I'll have to take a look at that. Thank you, Shadow. I was not paying attention. It's been ages since you listened to SCP reads, but should be easy to find. One of the few from your collecting days that you haven't sold. What else did you have, Test? Oh, you have a moist nugget. Hey, Ingle, how you doing, buddy? Hey, Ander. More funky floaty stuff, yeah. What's up? The Mosin Nagan. I'm concerned about you. You want to go to the store in the morning? Okay. We don't have to. I'm sure I can survive. What kind of stuff? Okay. Was I over here? I was over here. I've explored that side already. I've not explored over here, maybe? Ah, but Brock, you spelled it wrong. It's not grand, it's Garand. G-A-R-A-N-D. God, get it right. Where are you? Oh! I hate these guys with a passion. Did I get it? Did I get them all? No, Lauren is not sick too. When I say a minor case of food poisoning, I just mean I ate something that vehemently did not agree with me. Oh, and the reason why I said I'm concerned is because she walked in and said, "What about a moist nugget?" And then I said Mosin Nagant, and then she said, "I just had deja vu about asking you about a moist nugget." And so I said I was really concerned about her. No worries, Vel. I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with us. I hope you feel better. It sounds like everyone had a rough day today. So I hope you feel better. I hope things get better, and hopefully we will see you... Where's that other guy? Was he over here? I think he was over here. Hopefully we will see you tomorrow. It's a coin toss. Well, I hope the coin toss is in your favor. Doing well. Finally put the finishing touches on organizing your paint station and mostly decided which war game your group is going to get into. War Machine, so you can finally start prepping for that. Ooh, that sounds fun. Wait, no, this is not where I wanted to go. Where's that darn cord at? Is it over here? Your day ruled. Eat it, everyone else. Thank you. Thank you. We're so glad to hear that, Ingle. And now you can go suck eggs. Nobody said you were allowed to get sick. You tell that food poisoning to leave right now or you'll fight it. Like I said, light food poisoning purely in the sense that it's not that I ate something that was improperly cooked or gave me like a stomach bug. My stomach does not like it when I eat Frenchie's fried onions. So, you know. I don't know if we all have a moist nugget moment in our life. I don't know if I've ever had a moist nugget moment. Oh, there's a clock here now. Small, big. Was that right? Big at 3, small at 6. You had, let's see, you had your M1, your Mosin, an old Henry 4040, and a Remington Model 58 shotgun. What is the Henry 4040? Ton of pistols and junk, but those were the major ones. Never had Frenchie's fried onions? Do you know what they are, Brock? Do you know what Frenchie's fried onions are? Your day was decent, nothing out of the normal, really. A little more tired than usual. I feel that. I feel that. All you have left are your M1 and Mosin medical bills, suck eggs. Oh, is that what you liquidated to help out with medical bills? Big at 12, small at 10. Yeah, I don't know if it's someone inside or outside the hotel at this point. Oh. Here you are. But I don't like it. Yeah, the crispy onion pieces. They're like deep fried or something. It's the lever action that won the Old West? Oh, dude, hell yeah, that's so cool. They sure don't make them like they used to. Oh, right, 3 times.
This Wells guy can't be far.
Those must be the clocks he was talking about.
It's a lot of clocks. I'm gonna bring one for good luck. I'd say that was pretty good luck. You guys done shooting each other, or? We good, mates? Okay. They're clock blocking me. A vast array of clocks? A plethora of clocks? I feel like I'm missing a joke somewhere in there. Kill his snipers. Okay. I might come across some of those. A cacophony of clocks? A clockophony of clocks, you mean?
Shit.
That's the dude I just saw outside, isn't it? Yeah, that's 100% the dude that I just saw outside. That's the Lewis gun.
Your friend asked me to come looking for you.
That must be Horowitz. Glad he got out.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
Stayed back to help the others.
I was about to say.
Did a job of it, clearly.
You tried. That's enough. Horowitz needs your help now. How do we get out of here?
We should head back through the threshold. We can look for other survivors as we go.
We better hurry. Which way?
Just follow the blood. Let's go.
That's awful advice. Really, though? You're giving me an escort mission? Wow, that is a ton of clocks. Look at all the clocks that they're flagging. Security clearance level 9? My dude, I only have like security clearance level 5. You have level 9? What would you call a gaggle of clocks?
What's with the clocks?
Threshold effect. This used to be a regular office wing before the threshold manifested. The forces at play in there got a hold of someone's old clock and started duplicating it. Now the office is abandoned and its clock's all the way down.
Grandfather clocks do exist, you're right. But there is no father clock or mother clock. Machinations of clocks? I feel like that's a mouthful. He could not be happier about standing next to her, and she seems really uncomfortable. Yo, is there some inter-office PDA or something going on here? Like... Did they start the clocks? Is that the grandfather clock and that the grandmother clock? I'd hate to go to the theater with this guy. A clockophony. I think I said that already, didn't I? I don't know. Are you stealing my joke? You didn't say a clockophony. You said a cacophony. I mean, I don't remember. How about we both said it at the exact same time? Twofer.
Think you can find a way around?
Let me see.
Yeah, just don't die or anything, my dude. A cacophony of clocks? Yeah, and I said a clocophony. Clockphony.
So, you came down here for an altered item?
The anchor, yeah. Langston said it'd be a simple item retrieval. But the power of that thing had, I've never seen anything like it.
But wait, well, hold on. You said a plethora of clocks, an array of clocks, a cacophony of clocks, a cornucopia of clocks, or a crap ton of clocks. You never once went to a clockophony. Hi, Lunar. How are you doing this morning? How you feeling? Any better? What are you on about here, Test? What are you on about? Cornucopia. There you go. Jasper Postbox. I'm gonna take your term paper, punch you in the face, then cross your name out and write your own onto it. How dare you? I'm gonna make sure to hide something weird and malicious inside my paper that gets you found out for the thief that you are. Sorry, was that what yours too? I like that one. Agents arrived in the town of Jasper Crossing, Arizona, after the communications department intercepted multiple phone calls to the local authorities regarding frozen people in the streets. 4 of the 5 dispatched agents became paralyzed upon arriving at the scene. Additional assessment teams were dispatched. Variations of identification formulas were tried with ineffectual results. Agents resorted to using aerial photography to study the positioning of the paralyzed individuals. Soon after, agents discovered the event's epicenter to be the local post office. Unaffected agents cleared the area of all paralyzed civilians, animals, and Bureau personnel before beginning to study the item. Agents deemed susceptible to the item were tasked with interviewing and reinforming the public away from the site. The item was soon placed on a transport vehicle manned by unaffected agents. Air travel had been deemed too dangerous given the item's effect. Numerous reports of temporary paralysis were reported by civilians along the truck's route from Arizona to New York City. Clockocopia, but you figured Nightbot would take offense to that? Nightbot's pretty good. I don't have it too strict, I don't think. The first word of every line in the paper will combine for the sentence, Test stole my paper, over and over again. That would be impressive. That would genuinely be impressive if someone could write a paper to that effect.
That's O'Neill. Shit.
Not anymore, it ain't. Oh gosh darn it. Am I full on mods again? Rarity. What mod do I have on here? Accuracy, 22. Damage after kills. It's kind of nice. Accuracy is 21. That's 22. That's 18. I don't need the 18 one. We're good there. Yeah, that's fine. You fell asleep at 1 a.m. last night. Why so late? Why does every game insist on having item management? Yeah, I'm with you. I kind of wish that they gave me more room to do this or just made it easier to stack or recycle them or something. I mean, granted, I haven't swapped out, like, most of them, but still, like, make it easy on me. Wait, can I... I did absolutely nothing with it, and I am pleased. Prepare your butt, sir. Oh my god. I don't even know what hit me there. Hoard and never use. The tester way. I mean, that's also the way I do it too. If you want to beat the game with 999 basic health potions that you never use, that is my prerogative. Yes. Yes, it is. You may have stayed up hanging out in your Discord. Wait, whose Discord? Which Discord? Where am I? Oh, I'm here. I see where I am. Hey, K-Smack. How you doing, handsome? All right, let's try this again. And I think I'm actually going to swap this out for grip. Is this limited to Pierce? It is not. So I'm going to do that one for there, and then this one gets that damage boost. There we go, perfect. You'd say it was a bullet? It did look like a bullet, didn't it? Welcome back, Shadow. You alright? Oh, I'm glad to hear you're doing alright. Just alright? Everything okay? Hopefully a good or easy day so far. I myself am doing okay. Kind of ate some stuff that didn't agree with me earlier, and it sucked big time. But I'm much better now, so... Alright, got him. Oh, and the door's already open. That's really nice. I don't have to worry about any of that. That's super cool. It's a Discord with a bunch of your online friends. No one... Oh, okay. Okay. No, that's super cool. When you said our Discord, I was like, wait.
That's O'Neill.
People stayed up in my Discord and I missed it? But... You've been better? This game is very neat. I highly recommend it, especially if you like anything to do with, like... weird paranormal type stuff. But what's going on? Anything I can help you with, my dude? Sorry you're not feeling good. Oh, I wanted to capture that dude. Give us some help here, my dude. Just one of them days. I'm really sorry to hear that. Well, if I can do anything to help at any point, just cheer you up, or maybe you just want to hang out with us, you know, I would be delighted to, because you're one of my good friends, and I love you, and I want you to be happy and feeling better. Where'd that other dingle-dong go? Is he dead already? Wow, that's a lot of clocks. Did you stay up all night scrolling through your phone with no sense of urgency? Yeah, that sounds like me most nights, Tess. That sounds like me. Hey, Astro. Wow, long time no see. You are very late. How are you doing, my dude? You're playing chess, getting ready for Sunday, but you got tired and you're just trying to chill. Wait, what's Sunday? Oh, you're a cutie.
We couldn't let it get out into the bureau.
You sure know how to make
deal
me
with that
smile,
altered
K
item
Smack.
later. If I open the safe room now, Wells could get hurt.
Oh, that's
We
fair.
locked it
Okay.
tight. Come on, we need to get back to Horowitz.
Yep, Horowitz is dying. Let's go. Streamer friend is hosting a chess tourney. Oh, is that what I was told about earlier by, I think it was Vic and Nick, I think? Roller coaster of emotions. Oh, yeah? What, good emotions, bad emotions? What's going on with you, my dude? Yeah, they were asking me earlier if I played chess. They were going to try and get me involved, but Nick said he had already filled the spot. Which is fine with me. I haven't played chess in a while. I would probably be really bad at it. If it was a roller coaster, I assume it was a mix of both emotions. I mean, that's true, unless it was just like anger, sadness, anger, frustration, sadness, you know, whatever. Oh, I'm sure I am terrible at it now. I would like to say that me as a youngin was good at chess, but probably no longer. Arctic Queen. Can you tell us why you left your building that day? I was running out to get eggs. There was that corner store on 30th. That's why I left Michael there on his own. Knew I wouldn't be gone long. He was drawing on the table when I left. Had his crayons out. Happy. The building came down when I was a block away. I ran back, started digging. City workers found Mikey later beside the fridge. The drawings hadn't come off. Tons of bricks fall on it, and those drawings are still there. How does that happen? You kept the refrigerator after the accident. Why? It still had his drawings. God must have kept them safe for a reason, right? I'd get home from work and stare at them all night. I was in a bad way back then. Why did you sell the fridge with your son's drawings still on it? They'd gotten stuck to it or something. I thought about cutting them off those magnets, but maybe it was better I didn't hold on to them, you know? Gotta move on, everyone says. What's my fridge got to do with the building collapse anyhow? Oh, that sucks. You peaked at 9 when you beat your uncle, and it was all downhill from there. You started this last October. What do you think of playing chess? I know a lot of people love it because it's almost entirely a skill-based game, just memorizing positionings and counters and stuff like that. Mostly good, significant other visited, but they have now just left via train. Oh, I'm sorry, Astro. I can understand why it has been a lot of different emotions. You enjoy it? That's good. I remember the last few times I played it, I just got frustrated, so I stopped wanting to. How do we get out of here? Is it over there? I think we go over here. If it's memory-based, you'll be atrocious. That's one of the reasons why I don't think I'm that good at it anymore. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to see what was over here. All these clocks. You went pro in Magic the Gathering, and this gives you the same feeling, making your mind work and think. Yes. Just without the randomness.
It was clear we couldn't contain the altered item. Horowitz ordered a retreat. We got out, but Hiss were waiting for us. I took Horowitz to the motel court and went back for the others.
Without the randomness and deck building.
I'm the medic. It's my job.
Or the BS decks that are just very clearly stacked against you and there's not much you can do about it, you know? What is this? Without the random aspect of cards. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I beat you to it? I thought you were saying it as I was saying it. Well, we said it at the same time. It's fine. Oh my god, Test, you and your concussions, my dude. You gotta take care of yourself. Always love doing drafts for Magic, not actual games with decks people spend thousands on. See, I think that's my thing about Magic and other deck building games, is there are people who will spend thousands of dollars on it, and like, I'm glad that you have an outlet for your money and a game you enjoy and can be passionate about, but it just means I will never be good at the game compared to them. I will never have a better chance at beating them because they have spent the money on all the good cards, you know? At least it's not Yu-Gi-Oh! Where everything ends turn one. I wanted to be in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament when I was younger, and I'm sure I would have gotten just destroyed. I'm sure I had a terrible deck. How did you get so many concussions, Case Mac? With randoms you played draft with friends, it was 100% meme decks. I think that's the fun way to do it. Okay, Mr. Dread Dog, what do you think of this? You know, the airplane we brought in? Like the actual proper airplane? Guess who they made catalog every individual piece of that plane to be examined for suspected altered status. I had to count every bolt, nut, and piece of non-connected metal. And that's just on the exterior of the darn thing. Do you know how many pieces of hardware it takes to make an airplane? I do! I do! God, I do not envy that guy. What was the one that I just saw? Thought I had like a... I think it was one of these. One with a colon or something in it. Anyone can beat anyone. Just because they have a fancy, expensive card doesn't mean they are good. Coming from someone who played in the pro scene, you've beaten many people with legacy tournaments when your deck was worth one of their cards. Dang. Okay, that's fair. That's very fair. So it just depends on how you know how to play the deck against others, and sadly sometimes the cards you need are more expensive, but you don't need money to win. Oh. Well, that's good to know, actually. I always felt like everyone I played against just had an advantage because they were able to dump hundreds into the game when I wasn't. Because I had a friend that I grew up with that that played it, and he tried teaching me how to play, and like it was fun and all, just kind of goofing around with him and everything, but when it actually came down to like trying to play serious, I could not hold a candle to anything he did. And maybe it was just because he had a better understanding than I did, but... To be frank, you are the person with money cards? Oh, so you did have some good cards by spending a decent bit of money on it? Oh, wow, I didn't realize it was almost 10. That's what happens when I play an hour and a half of something else first. Beat a dude's pro deck with a squirrel deck once? Highlight of your life, a squirrel? Like, you just had, like, squirrel cards? You played in a tournament in Chicago with Grixis control that was foiled out for Legacy. That was expensive. I don't know what any of that means. You were the idiot who picked every coin flip card in the game and tried to make a deck with it? You think your crowning achievement was a guy with this deck he wouldn't shut up about for weeks. You killed him with his own land? How'd you kill him with land? You don't have some of the good cards, you have the good cards. Okay, that's fair. I mean, like I said, if it's something that you enjoy collecting and doing, by all means, like, I'm not gonna yuck your yum or anything like that, you know? I knew very early on that it was just not something that I would be able to invest time and money in, so I just never did. And part of me kind of wishes I could have been able to, because it seemed like such a fun community to become a part of, and as I grew up, I realized most of the people in that community I did not want to hang out with, and the people that I didn't only play Magic, so I had the best of both worlds. Turned his land into a creature, controlled it, and killed him with it. Oh, that's cool. Stopped buying cards when your roommate stole them all and sold them for crack. Yeah, screw that roommate. And he didn't even get a lot of it? Ugh.
Come on. The motel court is on the other side of logistics. Horowitz should still be there.
What's back here, though? Oh, I already got this one. Wait, did we come out already? Oh, that's right. We don't get teleported to another dimension. We just get teleported to a new place. Or, like, a different place inside the office building. I don't know why I was thinking I was in a different dimension. Oh, that doesn't look good. Yo, my dude, are you coming?
Let's go.
Did I abandon you because I walked too far away? All right, hold on. Let me look at this DM real quick. Wow. Was worth? What happened to it? that
Hold on. Something's wrong with him.
fair, Ingle.
Shit.
Oh no, is he becoming a hiss?
Horowitz. Oh God, no. These motherfuckers took him!
Do it. Oh, it's worth even more now? I'm just bullying him at this point. Horowitz, you are one tough son of a gun. But I got him!
Wells. Make sure he's okay.
Your collection was worth around $2 grand at that point, and dude got about 30 bucks worth of crack. Oh my god. So not only did he steal it for crack, but he was also an idiot. It's worth more now, like 75, you think? Dang. And you still have it, right? Like it's still your deck that you hold on to, and you're not just gonna like sell it, right? Dang.
I'm sorry about your friend.
Thanks. And thanks for coming to get me. Horowitz's HRA must have been damaged in the threshold. Guy never put himself first.
That's fair.
At least the anchor altered item is still locked away down in the clocks. I hope it rots down there.
That altered item needs to be dealt with before it hurts anyone else. I should go back down and contain it.
Head to the executive sector, Wells. They could use a medic.
Thank you, Director. I'll go see what good I can do there.
All right, hell yeah. I will go take care of that altered item. On Monday, I guess. I mean, it is the weekend. I guess I could stay up a little bit longer just to take care of this altered item. What do you guys think? Do I stay up longer to take care of the altered item, or do I go to bed? No sleep. All right, we'll go back and take care of it. You could and get out of debt, or wait longer and sell it for more. Well, I mean, you know, if the debt's not going to kill you or harm you in any way. Gosh darn it. Sleep is for the weak. Also, it's after midnight, so I'm off to bed. Angle! You just told me to stay up. No, you're not allowed to go to bed. You gotta stay up and hang out with us until I conquer this altered item. I won't beat the game tonight because I don't know how much is left. I'm sure it's a lot. But I do want to go take care of the altered item. No, what are you talking about? What shield power? Oh, hey, that made it easy. Okay, cool. Wait, no, it wasn't this way. Fine, one item and then it's bedtime. Perfect. Thank you. Love you, buddy.
This is the safe room Will showed me. The one with the altered item inside.
It's already gone. Threshold with effect redacted manifested in the containment sector in the middle of the redacted department. Simultaneously, numerous redacted appeared in the area, injuring and killing many more redacted. After rescue operations were completed and redacted, rangers were sent in to discover the threshold's epicenter. The sheer amount of redacted made the expedition impossible. The area was sealed off after removing the clocks proved an impossible task. The department was relocated and the area abandoned. Researchers theorized the threshold introduced unstable matter to our dimension, which adopted the form of the redacted as redacted when introduced to more stable redacted. Interesting. Only because the new War Machine app is out and you have to play with it. Hey, you know what? I'll take it. It's a gimme, but I'll take it.
Great.
Test.
More clocks.
You're not supposed to eat the item.
How am I supposed to get across that?
Is that the altered item? Let me guess. I can't come here until I can, like, levitate or something? Everything is food if you're hungry enough. Well then, in that case, look at all these snacks. Hey, I hit it. Oh, and I can't pick this up? Oh, that's energy renewal too. Rarity. What can I get rid of? I can get rid of that. Oh, it's a weapons mod. Okay. Type. Reload efficiency. Weapon armor damage. . Get rid of that headshot boost and that consecutive boost. But eating a clock would take too much time. Hey, you got it. Yeah, I guess not. I mean, if I can't make it over there, then... Oh, I need 8 for this. If I can't make it over there, then I might as well call it for now and fast travel back to... Logistics? Yeah. Yeah, I guess logistics. And then we have to do the other one, and I guess come back. Oh, okay, so now we're being quitters? Are we sure it isn't one of those stairs of faith thingies? Let's find out. Simple solution, eat yourself a bridge. I have brute forced this game more than once. I am not afraid to do it again. Hey, I don't think it's a brute force situation. You know, I probably could throw enough into the void to make a bridge. That would take a very long time. There's a lot of room for other bridges there. I don't have that many points. I just lost 6,000 for killing myself by jumping off the edge there.
How am I supposed to get across that?
Can I make the charge yet? Ooh, I can. Let's make the charge. Ooh, and I can upgrade Pierce? If I could get Pierce to give me a third shot, I would love it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade Grip. And I'm gonna give Grip... $36 damage boost? Yeah, let's do that. So that's 54 and a 36% damage boost. That sounds nice. And let's put on charge. Blast radius. Let's try this out. Oh, that's pretty cool. Hey, where did it go? No worries, K-Smack. You have a wonderful night, my dude. Take good care of yourself. If you need anything, let me know. Otherwise, just remember that I love you, and you're beautiful, and I will see you next time. I mean, yeah, it's a rocket launcher. I can't wait to try this out. Mwah. Okay, so very obviously can't do this one yet. I would like to think that I might be able to do old growth now, maybe? Let's go take a quick look, shall we? It was Central Research. Because I haven't used this rocket launcher before, but I really, really want to. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty effective, if I do say so myself. Taste of your own medicine. Dingle dong. Have a good night, Brock. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. It's always so good to see you. I'm glad you were able to stop by, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend if I don't catch you. Okay, so let's see. Stuff still hit me. Got that one. Oh, interesting. Do they explode early? All right. Well, if we don't see you, Shadow, have a wonderful night. But we might... Where are you? Oh, you're still there. I wish I could heal myself. Or see better where all the baddies are. Because this is like the one time where it's... Oh god! Nigh impossible for me to determine what's happening. And I am, like, literally one shot away from dead. Anyone else want a piece of my rocket launcher? Okay. Oh, where'd you come from? Now he's over there, and up there, and over there, and across the way there. That's a very good point, Tess. I wonder if I can get up there. Okay, so this is the bad goo that I cannot touch, which is fine. Okay. Picnic basket procedure. Item to be stored in a black rock paneled cell. Keep away from lab animals when not in use. What do I have against tables? My mother was killed by a table. How's that? A simple wicker basket with cloth lining, no food items inside. The item produces a hypnotic effect that solely affects non-human animals, forcing them to congregate passively around the object. Animals from every genus and species have thus far been tested and are susceptible. Single-cell organisms do not appear to react to the effect. 697. So June 9 of 1997, item was taken to a forest upstate for testing. Results of the test provided contradicting data as some of the attracted animals exhibited hyper-aggressive behavior. The exercise unfortunately resulted in redacted. Further testing should be restricted to more low-risk animal species with medical staff on standby. Oh, that was a good one, Tess. That was a good one. More on my brother than the table. Oh, God. You guys saw nothing? You guys saw nothing. Oh. You were waiting with bated breath for me to read that? That was pretty good. That was very good. I'll give you that one. Wait, when was your birthday? I missed telling you happy birthday? Am I a terrible friend? Happy birthday. 28th of December. Was everyone else wishing you a happy birthday? Did I just miss it? What was I doing on the 28th of December? I don't think I was doing anything. You told me on stream and you said you were going to do it on Discord as well. Wow, I've got a really bad memory. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I feel bad. Usually I try to call that sort of stuff out on stream, and I must have... Wait, did they not respawn? Huh. I must have forgotten. I'm so sorry. Will you accept a happy belated birthday? Okay, did I get everything in here? I think so. Well, stuff didn't respawn, so, you know, that makes my job slightly easier. Okay, I will give you a happy belated birthday. In fact, I'm gonna do it right now. There we go. See? It's like I never missed it. Minus and late, you just read very slow. Yeah, it's not that I'm late, it's just that the computer took forever to post it. Yep, that's totally the excuse. You barely remember your own birthday? I think I have your birthday written down, Test. In my phone, that way I don't forget it. It's always fun once you hit an age where you find out it's your birthday because someone texts you. I am looking forward to that day and age for me. Oh god, finally a control point. Then they ask how old you are and you have to do math. You know your birthday is late February? You don't even know when your own birthday is? Hold on, let me check my phone. Okay, do you want me to say it on stream? It is February 23rd. Yeah, we'll go with Prime. Guess I gotta use Pierce. So let's switch to Pierce real quick, and I'll shoot some things. Yeah, you did get the month right. That made me chuckle. I was like, hey, it actually is in February. You were second guessing yourself for a bit. If it hadn't been February, when would you have thought it was? Ooh, you got a new choker. That's cool. Out of curiosity, how is it that you can stand having something that tight around your neck? Does it actually feel that tight? Does it look tighter than it actually feels? Because I feel like that would drive me bonkers if I had a choker like that on. It's one of the reasons why I don't wear any jewelry. January, probably. Huh? Again, close. That's not far off. Real question is, Test, do you know when my birthday is? They're usually not too tight? Really? Well, what does the new choker look like? Describe it to us. It looks a bit tighter than it feels. Okay. I don't know, I feel like having something like this, like anytime I'd swallow it, yeah. How do I expect you to remember that? I don't know, I thought maybe you'd remember other people's birthdays more than your own. That's why I asked. Honestly, if you don't remember it, I would not be hurt. Nice, there's just a toilet here. A toilet with fungus. I probably did more damage to myself than I needed to. Maybe you thought you cared? Is that such a crime? Look how wounded he clearly is, lying about the pain. No, it's fine, Tess. Don't even worry about it. I wouldn't expect one of my closest friends to remember my birthday. I mean, I'm already used to them forgetting my birthday, so I really wouldn't expect them to remember my birthday. That's unheard of. Whoa, Lunar. I'm not reading that out loud. Nope, you can't trap me. But noted. No, really, you don't have to, Test. Genuinely, I do not expect anyone to remember my birthday. Most of the time I forget it's coming up too. I'm similar to you. And Ingle. Oh my god, Avian. I'm not gonna read that either. Nope.
Fixed. Building shifts occur at random and without warning, but with the Bureau's cutting-edge technology, we can stabilize the oldest house. Safe employees are happy employees. Certain rituals allow agents to navigate the oldest house as well. But accidents do happen. Trapping agents inside the walls. I heard you got stuck in your room for 3 days, Topher. Too bad you didn't have your book with you. Or any food. And remember, kids, when you feel the floor deviate, it's already much too late.
I imagine it's short for Christopher. So I imagine his name is Christopher, and they just call him Topher. Anyway. Yeah, I can just imagine you cackling in your chair right now, while, like, fidgeting with your choker there, Lunar. I'm sorry to hear that you lost your old one, but I'm glad you got a new one. Again, what does it look like? Do they all look the same? Are they all that, like, kind of plasticky, stretchy material? I guess some of them are leather, aren't they? Mr. and Mrs. Grace? Who are Mr. and Mrs. Grace? Oh, it's lace. Oh, that sounds significantly more comfortable than otherwise imagined. You have one with a chain and a pentagram with a dragon head? Like, all at once? That seems like so much going on. Now I want to see it. Can I go this way? Apparently not. Topher Grace's parents, you assume? Oh, was his last name Grace? Did I miss that? That sounds awesome. What? Why is everyone dead over here? What am I missing? Ow. That was dumb of me. Seriously, am I, like, missing an entrance, an exit? Like... Hey, Salad, how you doing? Oh. Oh, that's a That 70s Show's reference. You know, I've honestly never seen that show. I don't know anything about it. Thank you, Test. I appreciate you. How have you been, Salad? What's going on? Do I need to, like, levitate over there? Can I not go anywhere here either because I need to levitate? Or do I just need to, like, drop down this hole? Ooh. Okay. Interesting. I wonder how the beads would feel. I feel like they would pinch, but then again, I've also got, like, hair and crap on my neck, so Played some board games, got a haircut, got some hobby supplies. Some? Why the emphasis on some? Since there seems to be a supply issue. Oh, interesting. Thank you, Avian. Oh. There it is. Oh, that is really neat. Wow, that's a dragon head. Okay. I would have thought that was like a ram skull or something. I think I've seen you wear that one before. That one is neat. Today I learned. Yeah, let's see the handsome boy. Well, if you're complaining about your earlier comment, you will not elaborate. I was not complaining. I was just saying I wasn't going to comment on it. At least not live. I know entrapment when I see it. That's why I have a clip of Lauren holding a popsicle, or holding her hand in front of my mouth as I'm sucking on a popsicle. Welcome back, Shadow. I don't know, I was thinking maybe I'd be able to drop down and be fine. Cause like, I don't know where to talk to the lady that they told me to talk to. Like, I feel like I missed something. I feel like I missed a way to go, or...
Excuse me? Are you lost?
Oh! I wasn't supposed to... I was You mean the guard's telling me you shouldn't go in there, you need to talk to Underhill first, and she's in here the entire time? Oh, my lord. Anyway, progress report, active threshold / mold research. So you want to know how my mold research is getting on, Casper? Here it is. Microscopic organisms, similar in appearance to redacted, construct the architecture of the mold. Do not understand if these redacted are the original disseminators of the mold or are bitten by some fungal infection. The mold is the most prolific and durable organism I have ever seen. I theorize there is a mold source located somewhere on our side of the threshold, rooted here to accelerate growth in our dimension. I refer to this yet unknown source as Mold 1. The mold produces an enticing aroma to encourage human consumption of itself. It propagates in the chest cavity and quickly subsumes the entire body, seizing control of motor functions. This behavior was not observed when I first arrived, which means the mold has adapted to our presence, targeting our biological imperatives as a way to spread. It is a truly ingenious little thing. A full report will be ready soon. Keep your slacks on. Gotta say, listening to the Threshold Kids while sitting on the toilet is an interesting experience. Oh, I bet. What was going through your mind, I wonder? I thought you might feel better, Test. You were very close. Interesting. I would not have expected that about the beaded one. What about it? I don't know if you would know, but like, what about it would make it feel like that? Huh. Threshold Utility Research. Dr. Darling's recent penned essay titled Redacted contains some glaring omissions that I feel I must shine a light on. Firstly, the entire premise of the essay is that the quarry threshold is beneficial to the Bureau while the mold is actively hostile, to use his words. We cannot determine the worth of these dimensions and their life forms using bureaucratic definitions. Secondly, the mold is much more beneficial than some rock. If the redacted creating the mold were reconfigured in their purpose, the structures they could build would rival the greatest skyscrapers. The mold's resistance to various strains of disease we've attempted to introduce could be derived into Redacted. Yes, admittedly, this application is more difficult than picking up a rock and gluing it to a wall, but I pause to wonder when the Bureau lost its eagerness for a challenge. Hello, Raya. Oh, this is 2 Underhill from Darling. Okay. Hello, Raya. How is it going down there? Enjoying the mold so far? Settling back into life in the old FBC? I wanted to ask how your coffee with Emily went. She's a star on the rise, incredibly bright, extremely intuitive. But I want to hear what you thought of her. I think you two could be very good on a project together, could learn a lot from each other. Let's get together and chat about it soon. Anyway, sorry for the interruption. I'm sure you can't think of anything else besides the mold right now. You always were a woman of focus. I always admired that about you. Talk soon, Casper. This place is a hellhole. Mold is terrifying enough as it is, but hostile mold, they have gone too far. I mean, to be fair, they are trying to understand why it's hostile.
Do you normally barge into people's private workspaces?
She clearly doesn't know who she's talking to.
Shouldn't you be in a safe room?
Why? Because of those hiss things the Rangers keep going on about. Haven't you people sorted that out yet? The situation down here could spell doom for the Bureau.
You mean this mold?
Correct. Perhaps you could help me. I require samples of various mold strains, and the mold has made the environment far too dangerous for me to fetch them myself.
Really? Mold samples? I thought this could spell doom.
It could, and it will, whoever you are. The mold is spreading. We need to find the source before it spreads too far.
And these samples will do that?
No. Samples of 5 unique strains, when blended properly, will allow you to travel deeper into the pit, where I've pinpointed the approximate location of the source of the mold.
Okay. So what do these samples look like?
Similar to the one on my table there. I've made a list of the samples I need here. You'll find them throughout the threshold.
I'll take a look. My name's Jessie, by the way.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, I both love and hate her at the same time. Okay, they were fairly big. Interesting. Well, now I want one to see what that feels like. Or fire. You know, I hear fire works great on mold.
What have you learned about the mold?
Firstly, the term mold is a gross oversimplification used only to ease communication.
I feel like I nailed her voice perfectly.
The mold
Like her
itself appears
talking
to be
mannerisms.
the product of complex microorganisms. They spin the mold, building structures like minuscule cities, swiftly colonizing our dimension. And the speed of these tiny engineers relative to their size is simply staggering.
So it grows fast.
If you're not going to listen, then why did you ask?
So the mold is coming in from where?
We don't have a name for the threshold dimension. The origin point has been identified, but the density of the fungus makes it impossible to enter. Even if we could, I speculate that we would only find a reality entirely subsumed by the fungus. Total decomposition.
It's weird how excited she is, right?
What do you know about the hiss?
How could I know anything about an entity I've only just learned of? This is exactly the Bureau's problem. My work is always interrupted by these superfluous matters.
Calm down.
Extra dimensional
Just keep
bleach.
your HRA on and I'm sure you'll be fine.
This crude thing. I thought it was Darling's idea of a practical joke.
Not quite. Just keep your head down while I handle the hiss.
Oh, I didn't ask about Bureau research.
Have you worked at the FBC very long?
Not long enough to understand their inane methodology. They want me to solve the mold, but how is one to solve anything when the basic molecular structure of this fungus is an utter enigma?
Oh, sorry, are you asking me?
It's rhetorical. The Bureau wants to control,
Oh, Jessie.
not comprehend. But to answer your question, I'm a seasoned threshold researcher that's been brought in on a provisional basis to resolve this matter.
That's all you had to say.
Yep, I'm with you, Jesse. I am with you.
Try not to transport any spores outside the infected area.
Already have. Don't worry about it. Anyway.
It smells so sweet down here. Suddenly I'm really hungry.
Yeah, don't eat it.
How does mold taste?
Don't do it, Jesse. Bad idea. Then again, when has anything ever gone wrong?
Those people?
When has anything ever gone wrong from eating random stuff? Am I right? Certainly, I've never been toilet-ridden from eating something. No siree. Alright, so I'll just collect you.
This looks like a good one.
I think there was one in here. Nope. Goes near the staircase. Televisions, toilets. Was there one back where I came from? You should probably not go into detail about your preferences in adult activities. No, that's probably fair. There is a time and a place for that, and unfortunately that is not on Twitch. They tend to frown upon those sorts of things. I found the toilets. Yeah, now I'm getting the actual dialogue for the area. I didn't realize that she was in there. They made it sound like I shouldn't go in there. So I was like, all right, I'll go around and try to find Underhill instead of breaking into the obviously secured lab. Also, I love that Ingle goes, I can hear Shadow crying from here immediately before Shadow says something. It went all right, and by all right, I mean we did absolutely crazy combinations of stuff, and I definitely got my butt kicked a number of times. But it was fun. We had a blast. We did, like, blue shells and red shells with infinity, so or bullet bills, so you would just get the infinity thing with all blue shells and red shells, and it was chaos. Utter chaos. What, Tess? You've never picked up moldy poo before? I didn't see this one.
Found one.
I'm gonna trim the Twitch VOD later to have them both as separate, so that way anyone who wants to watch the Mario Kart one can see the absolute shenanigans that went down.
That's all 5 examples.
I guess that one didn't count. It sucks. Forgot that I had to kill some of these guys with this weapon. Not with your bare hands, no? You've mucked out an old horse stable that was all moldy before, though. That was fun. Gross. No, thank you. I got my butt kicked in Mario Kart? I mean, Salad, I would like to see you not get your butt kicked in Mario Kart when The only weapons are red shells, blue shells, and bullet bills.
You look like a woman with mold for me.
I found all 5, but I kind of wanted to eat them.
The mold has that effect on some people. Likely due to the fact it's not actually mold or even of this dimension. I suspect it is the result of 2 incompatible molecular structures, one dominant, coming into contact. I call it mold or fungus because it's closer in appearance and behavior than anything else we know. Except perhaps bacteria.
She reminds me of my old biology
It was
teacher.
also on the 3rd
Did you
lap.
happen to meet any more members of my ranger detail?
I didn't see any rangers. Just walking mold people. Unless...
Yes. If you found mold people, you found my rangers. I refer to the creatures as hosts. They, like other unwary agents, succumbed to the appetite. But that's nothing for you to worry about. The pill I'm about to make with these samples will make the lower level perfectly safe to traverse. It has the added benefit of immunizing you against the pit's toxic spores. Now leave me to it.
Okay.
I need to get going.
How much
Try
time
not to transport
do you
any
need?
spores outside the infected areas.
Careful in there, ma'am. Area's under quarantine. I wouldn't go in there without talking to Underhill first. Even if you have, I still wouldn't go in.
Could have had one of them go, oh yeah, Dr. Underhill's right in there. Go on. Walk right in. She's been waiting to talk to you. I mean, I wouldn't say I got my butt kicked. I think the first race I did was on Baby Park and I came in first. But then there were others that, you know, like Tess said, I went from 1st to 9th, which was the last possible place of the people I was playing with. And it's, you know, it's RNG. It happens. I did very well, and I also did not very well. That was fun. I wonder how long I'm supposed to wait for her to finish that antidote. You, for one, embraced the chaos energy. Oh yeah, it was a blast. It was so much better than trying to do, like, super sweaty, like, I need to win Mario Kart. I did feel a little bit of desire and need to impress everyone and keep my reputation for being really good at Mario Kart. But I did my best to suppress my ego and just had fun blasting random people and making rivals. Because I told everyone that hit me or knocked me out of first place that I was coming for them. And I did. I went right for them and promptly lost afterward. By the way, played a really fun board game today. Oh yeah? Which one? What was it? Ooh, I could make it really, really fast. Type. I'm curious what the projectile speed looks like. I mean, yeah, I guess that's reasonably fast. Okay, yeah, that is a big difference of speed. Whoa, 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 whoa. You've never played Betrayal at House on the Hill before, Salad? Oh, that is such a good one. Salad, I'm so sorry that I've never introduced you to Betrayal at House on the Hill. Let's go to the mailroom real quick, because I'm having fun chitty-chatting with you guys. So, oh, they released a new edition? I didn't know that they released any more editions. God, I absolutely adore Betrayal at House on the Hill. It's one of my favorite board games to play with people because it's very cooperative, obviously up until the end, and even then, it's still very cooperative. Like, it's just a fun game to do. I've loved playing Betrayal at House on the Hill. Yeah, we should. They, oh, those are my guys. They have, I think all of them on Tabletop Sim. Get kershmooshed. Nailed it. Oh, it does some initial damage and then it does some damage afterward. I didn't realize that. Oh man, this gun is so cool. I mean, it's probably not good that I'm just using explosives around all my friends, but... Is that it? Is there more? Still telling me to secure the mail room. Oh. No, that's my guy. Do I just have to wait? Is it slowly go? I think it's slowly going up. I think it's a timed thing. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I would love to play it. I think Lauren's played it before too. I can't recall, but I'll have to try and get us all together on like Tabletop Sim to play it. See if we can get a couple people down. Because I think it's a 6-player game. It's been a while since a hot minute since you played a truly fun board game. Played Betrayal with your mom when she was out here and she literally dominated us. Oof. Yeah, one of them did die. They should have dodged better. But no, it looked like it was a time thing. 3-6. Oh, I wonder if they came out with a new expansion? Because I know that they had the basic Betrayal at House on the Hill, and then it was like Widow's Peak or something like that was the other one. Widow's something? Or something Widow? I don't remember. Yeah, I would love to play that again. It's been a while since I've played it. Let me... Betrayal at House on the Hill. Avalon Hill. They did, and you did not play an expansion. You played second edition. Okay, I think second edition is the one that is the standard one. Oop, did not mean to do that. Hold on, let me go check my board game shelf. Yep. I also have second edition, which is good to know. I wasn't sure if they came out with like a third edition with like more up-to-date rules or something. So it's good to know that it is just second edition. Which has, I think it's like 30 some odd scenarios to play. And then you've got the expansion, which I think adds another 30 as well as some other stuff. It's super cool. Such a fun game. Such a really fun game. Let's see if anyone is still streaming to raid at 11 o'clock on a Friday. Yeah, very interesting mechanics. I absolutely loved it. You played it in board games pretty regularly and have yet to play the same scenario twice. I think I have managed to play the same scenario twice, but it was a very, very lucky happenstance. Yeah, no worries, Engel. I appreciate you hanging out. You have a wonderful night. Take care of yourself. We'll see you later. Get some good rest. Enjoy your weekend. You know what? I think for that case, I'm just gonna make the raid I'm gonna raid over to Tay, who is just doing some music. She's just DJing tonight, so it'll be a good chill way to end it. You guys can go with me if you'd like, and just say hello. But she's just vibing to some music and having a good time. So, but I do appreciate everyone hanging out with me through Mario Kart and Control. You guys are absolute delights. Absolute lovely beans. You all are fantastic, and I love you very much. And tomorrow, we will be playing some GTA 5 RP, 1960s RP on the boardwalk. So if anyone is interested in joining, you are more than welcome to join up in the Discord. The link is right there, and you can put in an application to play with us. It is an 18-plus server, so you do need to be 18 or older. Just something to keep in mind. But otherwise, you guys can hang out here and watch the return of... Oh, is it Jimmy? Salad, are we doing Jimmy and Johnny, or are we going to be doing some Cleo and Tad? That's the real question. Who are we going to play? What story are we going to tell? You guys will have to find out tomorrow. How you like that for a hook line right there? ¿Por qué no los dos? ¿Por qué no los dos? But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you all so much. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, stay hydrated, and I'll see you all on the next adventure.